Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Phillips. We're going to experiment today and make our own lava lamps. So let's get started. I have here several different things. Hopefully you will have these around your house if you'd like to do it yourself. We have some baking soda, we have vegetable oil, some food coloring, and our old smelly friend vinegar. What we're going to do first, you need to have your own jar or glass. It's going to take at least 2 tablespoons of the baking soda, and I already put it in this little container, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And that's our base for our experiment. So in the bottom of that jar, I've got some baking soda. Now I'm going to take our vegetable oil, and we're going to have to put probably half of the jar, fill it up. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to fill it on up with some vegetable oil. And this is probably going to use almost all, it's going to use all my vegetable oil. So we've got that. Now already you can tell the baking soda is definitely heavier than the oil. The oil is mixed on top. Well, we do all know what happens when we put vinegar with baking soda. It makes a delightful reaction. So I've added just barely a drop of food coloring, mostly so this will show up and you can see the experiment better, but also because it's St. Patrick's Day. So after I had poured about a 1/4 cup of vinegar in here and added the tiny drop of food coloring, I mixed them up, and I do not have a dropper, so I'm using a spoon. I'm going to go ahead and start spooning in the vinegar, which, by the way, vinegar has water in it, so it's vinegar and water. I'm going to put that in to the oil, the vegetable oil, and the baking soda, and we're going to see what kind of reaction we get. Ooh, I'm going to put definitely more. I already see some bubbles. Oh, I see a lot more bubbles. And more bubbles. We're going to sit here and look at this for a little bit. So what we're seeing is a couple of different things. First of all, we can talk about density, and that means how heavy something is. Well, obviously the oil is lighter than the baking soda at the bottom, but the vinegar and water that I'm putting in, do you see how they're forming on the bottom? They are heavier than the oil. So what happens is when I put that vinegar inside the jar, it goes down to the bottom, it reacts with the baking soda and makes those little gas bubbles, the carbon dioxide gas bubbles. The bubbles, which are the lightest thing of all, they come up to the top, release their gas into the air, and the water and food coloring that's left go back down to the bottom and form gas bubbles again. So the heaviest thing in there is the water with the vinegar, then the oil, and the gas bubbles are the very lightest. So this reaction will happen again and again and again because as the gas bubbles are formed, they float up to the top and pop. And then the water that's left behind goes back down to the bottom and mixes with that baking soda and forms gas bubbles again. So this is a really fun experiment. You could use different colors. You don't have to use green. And you can just keep spooning this in and watch your own homemade lava lamp create those bubbles again and again and again. It also makes kind of a cool sound. So there you go. Hope you learned something. Bye.